I've got a need for speed, specifically amphetamine with dextroamphetamine. Earlier this year, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and getting medicated has been a game changer for me. But also, I just love fast-paced games that put me in a state of intense focus, almost like a zen-like flow. I think there's gotta be a connection between the ADHD and the love of these types of games, but anyway, my goal here is to share what I played last month, so hopefully you can discover something that you might have otherwise missed. In June, I went all out with satisfying my cravings for high-speed action and Flowstate games. I played a bunch of stuff that really scratched that itch, and hopefully one of these also catches your attention. Superflight is an awesome game that's all about flying through procedurally generated mountains at breakneck speeds. It's not your typical story-driven game, but more of like a super cool digital toy that had me hooked. Superflight is a score-centric game. You earn points by getting really close to the mountains and performing daring maneuvers. It's all about pushing your limits and taking risks to rack up points. But if you're like me and not into chasing scores, this is still captivating to play. I would keep finding holes and archways in the mountains that were randomly generated, and you're never really quite sure if your newfound fixation of besting these challenges is even possible. But when you finally nail it after countless attempts, it's super satisfying. The game just has this mesmerizing quality that draws you in. As you glide around these mountains, the sound of rushing wind is just hypnotic. It's pretty much the falling with style of the game that I've always wanted. I highly recommend Superflight. It's super captivating and it's always pretty cheap, so it's definitely worth a shot. Rollerdrome is a roller skating shooting game that takes a ton of inspiration from the early Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games. It has different arenas and checklists just like Tony Hawk, where you have a bunch of tasks to complete. Some are as simple as keeping a combo going, collecting floating items, or doing tricks in specific spots. When you finish a successful run, you unlock new arenas. But after completing one of the 4 major chunks of the competition that comprises the whole game, you'll get gated from moving on until you've completed a certain number of goals to progress. This game is far from just another Tony Hawk clone though. The addition of shooting to this sort of game shifts the focus from just doing the tricks. You still do tricks to keep your combo going in a way, but taking down enemies is what actually fuels your score and combo. The tricks are the way that you gain more ammo. Rollerdrome's slow motion and generous auto-aim mechanics are also essential for pulling off shots at high speed. It has a cool 70s style that's inspired by movies like Rollerball and The Running Man. It's set in the year 2030, which is a fun nod to how futuristic movies from this era would often imagine how things were going to be in the funnily near future. And now those always come across as kind of quaint since we've now long passed a lot of those dates. As you progress, you unlock new weapons with different uses, but the standard handguns still have their place. The game does fall a bit short in the customization options though, because you're playing as one very specific character. Hopefully if there's a sequel they'll add character customization and maybe even a level creator. I should mention that the controls can feel a little bit stiff at times. You might get stuck going in a direction you don't want to be going and have trouble turning around smoothly. Also, there's only one boss fight that's repeated twice, and I found that to be kinda disappointing. But the music is perfect for creating that intense 70s death game vibe, and visually it has this trendy, flat, textureless look that I think looks pretty neat still. Although I can see that style getting pretty tired as more games come out with it. Ultimately, I highly recommend Rollerdrome. It's a fast-paced roller skating shooting game with a really cool retro vibe. "20 Minutes Till Dawn" is a Vampire Survivors-like auto-shooting survival game, or as Jeff Gerstmann calls it, the ass genre. Well, actually, auto-shooting isn't completely true here, at least initially. Whenever you start a run, you have to aim and shoot, so each run more accurately starts as a dual-stick shooter. But as you get upgrades and the chaos continues, it pretty much becomes automatic. It's like a hypnotic symphony of complexity, and it'll definitely get you in that focused, locked-in state. I personally enjoy 20 Minutes Till Dawn a lot more than Vampire Survivors for a couple of reasons. The visuals are a lot more cohesive, and the combat feels more active, even if it does become mostly automated. I recommend checking out 20 Minutes Till Dawn. Fotonica is a neat one-button auto runner that has this awesome wireframe style that looks really cool. The way that you play it is you hold down the button to run and go faster, and when you let go, you jump. While you're in the air, if you hold down the button again, you'll be forced back downward. And that's pretty much it. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and distance to make it through the stages. Anyway, the major downside here with Fotonica is that sometimes the draw distance isn't so great, especially when you're zooming along at high speeds. It can be a bit frustrating because the game demands quick reflexes, and there are moments that it feels a bit unfair or sloppy. On the bright side though, the soundtrack is awesome and the user interface fits perfectly with this whole cyber world vibe. If you're into that sort of thing, you might really dig this game. It just wasn't quite my cup of tea, but who knows, maybe it's right up your alley. Roundguard is a fun mashup of Peggle and a fantasy roguelike. Instead of the usual ball, you shoot your fantasy-themed hero. They have stats and abilities that you can upgrade and swap out as you progress through a random assortment of rooms. Filling these rooms, instead of the typical colored pegs, are a mix of enemies and potions. Your main goal is to clear each room of enemies by bumping into them. When you do so, you both exchange your attack damage. So you have to be strategic with your shots. You have to aim for enemies and health potions interchangingly so you can make it through each room. The game isn't perfectly balanced though, and some abilities and classes are way more effective than others. The randomness here is also a bit much, because of the randomness of a Peggle game compounded onto the randomness of a roguelike. It is a lot. The music and visuals are also really basic and come off a bit too bland. Despite its flaws though, Roundguard managed to capture that addictive Peggle feeling. It's like a delightful animal-brained intoxication that keeps you coming back. So if you can grab this one on a good deal, I recommend picking it up. And those were the games I played in June. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out my other videos and join the 406 others who like discovering games they might have otherwise missed by subscribing. Now for a little bit of housekeeping here at the end. I need to change up this monthly games I played video format. Don't worry, I'm not reducing my video output or slowing down at all. It's just that the monthly recap format really isn't working for me anymore. Trying to play things within a YouTube-friendly, succinct theme is annoying, and I found myself both rushing through games that I actually want to take my time with, and forcing myself to play stuff that I wouldn't otherwise. From now on, I'll still discuss the games I play and highlight the cool stuff, but I don't think I'm going to confine myself to this strict monthly recap schedule. By opening up my format and schedule to be more flexible, I hope it will be better for me and allow for more possibilities of what I can do here. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching.